Hey everybody, Dominic here, and in this video I want to talk about file storage in Canvas and specifically some best practices to keep in mind when it comes to utilizing Google Drive with Canvas. Now, we encourage the use of Google Drive with Canvas because they work really nicely together. One of the reasons they work nicely together is a little thing called Course Kit. If you don't already know what Course Kit is, I've already done a video about it, but basically it allows you to embed files from Google Drive directly into your Canvas course, so they just display right within the page. So that's kind of cool. But the core reason why we encourage the use of Google Drive with Canvas is that if I've got a document in my Google Drive and I link it in different Canvas courses, if I need to make an update to that document, I just update it in one place, my Google Drive, and those updates will show up everywhere that it's linked, okay? I could, if I wanted to, upload like a Microsoft Word file into this course, into this course, and into this course, into the Canvas files of those different courses. I could do that. The problem is, if I need to make an update to that document, and I want it to show up on all of my courses, I need to update it here, then update it here, and then also update it here. Okay, so a lot of manual extra steps, whereas if we store it all in one place, we update it in one place, those updates show up everywhere. Okay, so that's the basic idea of why we like to use Google Drive with Canvas. Now, there is some discussion that we should have in regards to the use of your My Drive versus your Team Drive. And actually, let me get my little person back here. Okay. Your My Drive versus your Team Drive. Now, this is with G Suite. With G Suite, you have your My Drive, which is your personal storage space, and you have your Team Drive, which belongs to a team. Now, you can use your My Drive to store files for your Canvas course if you would like. Okay? So, right here is my My Drive. It's got different documents inside of it. I can link those documents here, here, and here into these different Canvas courses. If I update my document in my My Drive, those updates will show up in all of my courses. So far, no problem. Now, the problem comes up when, let's say, the content of this course is going to be used by a different instructor. So we're going to copy the content from this course into this course, where somebody else, a different teacher, is teaching it. This can often happen with like curriculum projects. You develop a curriculum project and then it gets used by other instructors. Now, here's the problem. Let's say that you're cleaning up your My Drive and maybe you don't teach this course anymore, so you decide, okay, I don't teach that course anymore. I'm going to delete the files in there that I just don't use them anymore. The problem is this teacher is still depending on them because this course, the content here, is linking back to your My Drive. Okay? So that would be a problem. This teacher would lose those files. The other problem would be what happens if you leave the institution. What happens to your My Drive? Keep in mind, this is your CVTC My Drive. What happens to it? This gets archived. And all of these files basically become unusable. Or, well, we can't access them anymore. Once again, this person down here has lost access to those files for a course that they are teaching. Okay, so you can use your My Drive to store files for Canvas, but the thing to keep in mind is files that you store in your My Drive should only be files that only you are going to need. If other teachers are going to need those files also, I would not store them in your My Drive. Okay? Instead, I would store them in a Team Drive. Okay? And the reason is files that are stored in a Team Drive belong to the Team Drive. They do not belong to a particular person. So in this case, we've got 3 different people they all have ownership of this team drive. Let's say that this person in blue created this document right here, okay? And then let's say, let me get my eraser here. Let's say that this person in blue leaves the institution. Their file is still there, okay? So we can safely link to these different Canvas courses, and we can reliably say that those documents will always be there as long as the team drive is there, okay? So that's a big benefit of the team drives. Now, let's say that this person in pink has got all these files in the team drive, and that's all good. But let's say that they like this blue file, but they really wish they could edit it, and they want to change a few things. Well, they don't want to change it here because that changes it for everybody. So what can they do? Well, what they can do is they can take this blue file, they're going to make a copy, and they're going to make that copy and place it in their My Drive. And then they'll edit it from there, they'll stick that copy into their Canvas course, and now that's basically their own version, which is okay because that version is just for them. Other people are not depending on it. Other people will be utilizing that master copy in the team drive. Okay, so this is kind of the way that we should be thinking about how we organize files. And it really just requires some coordination with your team and making the decision of, are these files going to be used by teachers other than me? If yes, let's put them in a team drive. And if we're going to be putting them in a team drive, let's coordinate. Let's see if, should we have a department team drive, okay? And kind of coordinate how that's going to work, all right? So those are things to keep in mind when choosing to store in a My Drive or a team drive. Now, really quick, I want to touch on a few reminders when it comes to shareable links, okay? So if we're sharing a document in our Canvas courses, we want to be mindful of the way that we're sharing them with those shareable links. So the first thing to keep in mind, if you set a file, a shareable link for a file, so that anyone at CVTC with the link can view or can edit, whatever, the thing to keep in mind is that this will require a login. Even if all it is for them to view, okay, you just want them to click the link and see the document, that's all. If you set it so that anyone at CVTC with the link can view, when students click on that, they're going to have to log in, okay? Which is not a big problem if your students know to log in with their CVTC Google account, okay? If they log in with a personal Google account, they will not have access, okay? They have got to log in with their CVTC account. So if you're going to be doing this, if you're going to have this permission, which you should if you're going to do any collaborative activities. Collaborative activities, we definitely want to do this. If you're going to do this, you want to make sure to give your students some orientation and tell them, like in week 1, tell them, we're going to be using Google G Suite in this course. Here are the steps to follow to sign in to your G Suite account. Make sure that you're signed into your G Suite account for CVTC if you want to access stuff, okay? Now, number 2, if we set it so that anyone with the link, without the CVTC part, now students click on it and they see it without any login, okay? This is good if we just want to make it easy to see stuff. I click a link, there's the document, done. I don't want to have to log in. No problem, do it that way. When is this not good? It's not good when we want to do collaborative activities. Because if we do this, if we set it so that anyone with the link can edit, now people are going to edit that collaborative document. We're going to have no idea who they are, okay? And that can lead to some big problems. So this is a convenient way to not prompt a login, but just be mindful of, do I need to keep track of who's doing what? Yes, no, okay? So that's the thing to keep in mind there. Last thing to point out, if you want to store Microsoft files in Google Drive, you absolutely can. And the thing I want you to keep in mind is, if I have a Microsoft Word file and I put it in Google Drive, it's still a Microsoft Word file. It does not convert to Google Docs. We can convert it to a Google Doc if we want to, but we don't have to. Okay, we could keep it as a Microsoft Word file. And we can get a shareable link to that file, the same way that we have with number 1 and number 2. Okay? And let's say that you've got a handout, a worksheet, that's a Microsoft Word file. You store it in Google Drive. You set it up so that anyone with the link can view. We don't want them to edit it because each student gets their own copy. Okay? Then when students click on that link, they're going to see this little icon in the top right. So it'll display the document, and they'll see this little icon. This icon represents download. They can click on that link and they'll download their own copy of that Microsoft Word file. All right. So those are just a few best practices to keep in mind when utilizing Google Drive with Canvas. If you have any questions about what I've shown you here today, feel free to reach out to me. And thank you very much for watching.